With us now, our senior correspondent, John Miller. He served in the office of the Director of National Intelligence. He is in Washington. John, good morning.
Good morning, Nora. Good morning, Jeff.
There's a lot to talk about in this interview with President Assad and Charlie Rose. I want to ask first about a question that Charlie posed to the president about will there be attacks against American military bases in the Middle East if there is a strike by the U.S.? And President Assad responded by saying, you should expect everything, and not necessarily from the government. It's not only the government. They're not the only player in this region. Charlie also asked about potential chemical warfare. What capabilities does Syria have?
Well, they have a competent intelligence service and military that should by now have already prepared some kind of target folders for likely targets first in the region and then maybe beyond. Of course, beyond their military, you've got their association with Hezbollah. Remember, President Assad has Hezbollah, the terrorist organization, fighting in the streets of Damascus and the suburbs against the rebel. They have a global terrorism capability. And then, of course, there's the wild card of Hezbollah's other client state, Iran, which may decide to do something either in support of Syria or just to distract attention from itself in a different brittle situation. So you got plenty of wild cards there.
We also hear Charlie ask him about his stockpile of chemical weapons. And President Assad says, we never said we don't have it. And yet he denies this attack that happened in late August that killed some 1,400 of his own people, including more than 400 children. What did you make of President Assad's response?
Well, I think, when the intelligence analysts show up at the White House today to brief the president, he's going to ask those same questions. And the analysis you're going to get is President Assad, this is not his first rodeo. He didn't fall off a turnip truck. He's playing to a number of audiences here, but chief among them are the American public. His best intelligence source right now on U.S. sentiment is the newspapers. And he has clearly read that the thing that is causing the White House trouble about getting approval for this attack from Congress is the fear of retaliation. So if you'll note through the Charlie interview, he touches that nerve as many times as he can. Expect everything, he says. Now, frankly, you might look at it analytically and say, if he is struck in a punishment operation, which is to say you use chemical weapons, that's bad, we're going to hit you in this limited strike so you know how much that hurts and you won't do it again. There's no real upside for him to retaliate against that because he's escalating a situation he wants to limit. On the other hand, right now we're in the propaganda phase and he has to tell the American public, if you're worried about retaliation, I need to fan those worries.
John Miller from Washington this morning.